Yes, I see two participants. Okay, then I'll get off the phone and then it should be okay now. And I see I'm gonna admit you. Okay, thank you. Mm, okay.
Okay,
Okay.
we're in business.
Yes. Okay.
Now, how is my microphone? Is
Very
it
good.
it's
Very
too,
good.
is it too hot a little bit? No, should I lower it a little bit or is
No,
it
no, it's perfect. It's perfect.
excellent? It's a very good studio microphone, so
Mhm.
good.
Okay. Now let me go to my questions. Okay. Okay. Hello, Michael Westerman. This is WZRD Chicago 88.3 FM. This is a pre-recorded interview for air later, and we have with us the unwizard Michael Wasserman, who is very concerned about the closing of High Ridge YMCA. Hi, Michael. How are you tonight?
Great. How are you doing, Trudy?
Very well. Very well. It is it is a very disappointing piece of news that we heard about a week or so ago that High Ridge YMCA is closing permanently. So, what uh, what about High Ridge YMCA did you enjoy the most? What are you going to miss about High Ridge YMCA the most, Michael?
Well, High Ridge YMCA is placed right in the heart of Rogers Park,
Hmm.
and it's placed between two businesses. One is a medical clinic where we don't want to go unless we're sick, and next to it is an auction house which sells mostly deals with estates of people who deceased. We don't want to go there either. Where
Hmm.
do you want to go? You want to go and work out. Now,
Hmm.
High Ridge YMCA has a perfect size. It has a beautiful swimming pool with crystal clear water, half an Olympic size. It has an exercise room. It has classes, yoga, boxing, dancing for little children, and it's not too big and not too small. So, what I miss most is being in this perfect, cozy place, which by some miracle has everything.
How long have you been a member of the YMCA, Michael?
Um, I was a member once before, about 30 years ago, but this time, I would say 10, 12 years probably.
Hmm. And uh, how different is this YMCA from others that you've visited in the past?
It always comes to this cozy side.
Mm.
I was born in a small but proud country of Latvia with only 2 million population. And when I came here, I was shocked to see how big everything is. Schools can have thousands of students.
Mhm.
Our schools have 150 students.
Oh.
So
Mhm.
the
Mhm.
reason they combine them to such big size here, I think, is because they want to be able to afford a large physical plant. They want to have a swimming pool, a basketball court, so they pool the budget. But kids, when they go there, it's like they're lost. And the same thing, you get lost in a big institution. Uh, so High Ridge is not too big.
Mhm.
And that is a fantastic quality that we were all hoping to come back to after the pandemic.
Did a lot of the people who go there, did you know one another because it's kind of cozy? And then did you make a lot of friends over there?
Of course, of
Mhm.
course. That was probably at least as much of an attraction as their gym. Uh, People from all walks of life. You meet a carpet trader from Iran who now has a shop in Evanston, who could go to Evanston YMCA, but he goes to the one in Chicago because he also wants the smaller size. We see a soldier, former soldier who was in the Scottish regiment serving in Africa during World War II, working out. Uh, we see, I met my physical therapist there, my future physical therapist. Uh, there, people talk. People get on the two treadmills next to each other and they
Mhm.
chat as they run. People work out. Uh, they switch, they trade knowledge about equipment. How do you operate this machine? How do you operate that machine?
Mhm.
Uh, I met a wonderful was he, cello teacher. You really get to know people. I met some religious Jews. I met some Hindus who I was able to advise on Ayurvedic oils, Mahanarayan oil to increase joint mobility. People constantly trade information, and it really is a family and it's a community. And as soon as you enter, you can feel the warmth.
Were you able to keep in touch with your YMCA friends during the time that it was supposed to be temporarily closed, but now it's permanently closed? But during those 6 months when it was supposed to be temporarily closed, were you able to keep in touch somewhat with those with your YMCA friends?
Nope, and I
Oh,
missed them terribly.
of course.
And uh, was a big part of my life because I was there every day. And when you go somewhere 7 days a week and then you suddenly lose it because I somehow never got their phone numbers. Uh, I don't know how to get in touch with them. I don't know. Maybe the older ones have gone to assisted living facilities. In other words, the answer is no. I don't
Mm,
get to talk to them and I miss them very much.
wow. Okay. Well, maybe there will be some organization that could help with that. Hopefully, we could find some way to keep it open some way. But if we're not, maybe some organization could help uh, uh, do make a organize a reunion and promote it so that people who have used the YMCA could get together and meet again after the pandemic, so that you don't lose touch because it's a shame if you lose touch that way. Um,
It would be wonderful if that happened.
okay. So what were your options for the activities that you were doing at the YMCA? For instance, you're working out and other activities. What did you do during those 6 months that the YMCA was closed?
Oh, what do I do now to
Yeah.
replace it?
Yes.
Well, I had to set up a little gym uh, in my apartment. I have free weights and I jog by the lake uh, from Howard to Dempster and every morning and back, or else I would be staying at Dempster, but I do come back. And that takes about an hour. And I practice yoga over Zoom 4 times a week.
Mhm.
But it's not sufficient. It does not replace all the machines and the swimming pool.
How much time did you spend at the YMCA every day when it was open? Approximately.
Between 2 and 3 hours.
Hmm. Yeah.
Depending if there was a yoga class. If there was a yoga class, that would be an hour
Hmm.
or an hour and 15 minutes. And then I would run on the treadmill and then I would do the machines. Each one of these would take an hour. So I would say a total of 3 hours
Hmm.
every day.
Hmm. And it kept you fit and happy because you worked out and then you had your emotional well-being too because you had so many friends over there.
Yeah, yeah. That was very important to me because I don't have any other social club or any other place where I could go and socialize. Uh, so unless I meet YMCA members in the street, we stop and chat. But
Mhm.
uh, not these days anymore.
Right.
It was like a family. Now it's fallen apart. And I hope it doesn't.
Absolutely. Do you have any idea how many members there are in the High Ridge YMCA?
No, I couldn't say that. I don't know.
That's okay.
Um, Hundreds, but I don't know how many hundreds.
Hmm. How has the High Ridge YMCA changed over the years?
Well, they keep improving. They remodeled the hallways. They installed new lockers in the locker rooms with better locks, and they've upgraded their showers and faucets. They constantly kept improving.
Hmm.
They put in a new ventilation system on the roof to keep it cool in the summer and heated during winter. Uh, it's a very old building and it's not very small. It's not very big, but it was uh, they kept improving it all the time.
Hmm. So, in other words, they put a lot of TLC, tender loving care, into maintaining the building and the whole operation.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. And the front desk was wonderful people. Gwen, the receptionist, she was such a diplomat. She could resolve any difficulty that would come up. If someone would have a disagreement or a complaint, they would come to her frowning. They would always leave her smiling.
Oh,
They really had wonderful people.
mhm. Okay. Can you share with us? Well, you shared a lot of different, a lot of little vignettes of the different people that you've met. But could you share with us a favorite story of your experiences at High Ridge YMCA?
There are lots of stories, but maybe the most important one for me is this. About 6 years ago, my one of my best friends, um, a lady, an artist and a pianist, suddenly collapsed while in a store, was taken to hospital with partially paralyzed arms and legs. And then after the hospital, they couldn't help her. They brought her to a nursing home. And she's been living there for the last 6 years. So I started visiting her and bringing her acupuncture people and trying all kinds of exercises she could do in bed. And eventually she was able to, uh, found, I actually asked the yoga teacher at the YMCA if he wouldn't come in a few times a week and practice yoga with her, even though she could not get off her bed.
Hmm.
He taught her how to get on her hands and knees, and he taught her how to sit on the edge of the bed, and eventually she was able to get into a wheelchair. And as soon as she was in a wheelchair, I started taking her to the YMCA
Hmm.
and bring her to the car, put her wheelchair in the trunk, help her sit in the car, and drive her there. And she started doing that stationary bicycle, the pedaling it for 15, 20 minutes. And then I would try and bring her to a real yoga class. And she could do almost nothing in the yoga class. She just lay there. Once in a while, she was able to do something.
Hmm.
In a year of doing that, she was able to get off of her wheelchair and walk with a walker. And in the yoga class, she started being able to do maybe 10, 15% of exercises.
Hmm.
In another year, she gave up the walker and started walking with a cane.
Hmm.
The cane was given to her by Jack, that old Scottish soldier from World War II. He said, I don't need this cane, take it. And she's been walking with it. with
Mhm.
a cane.
Mhm.
And then eventually she gave up the cane. And she, before the pandemic, she walked. And she could, in the yoga class, she was up to maybe 30, maybe 35% of the poses.
Oh.
So now that there is no more YMCA because she's locked up in her nursing home, she's getting weaker every day. Her state is deteriorating. And I just hope, I was hoping that when the pandemic is over and they reopen High Ridge Y, she would be able to get up and get there with me so we could rebuild her strength. And now, if they're going to close it, I don't know what's going to become of my friend. That's the story.
That's that's some story. Wow,
Yeah,
Michael. Do
yeah.
you have any idea? Have your friends told you who are the stakeholders? Who could actually make a difference and reverse the closing? Because this story is very important. Whoever has uh, has the means to reverse the closing, I think that person or persons would do very well to listen to your story, Michael. Have you heard anything about that? Who could affect?
I,
Who could
I
change?
don't, I don't know. What I don't understand is this. If the building is closed, they're not paying any salaries, they're not paying for heat, there is no rent because they own the building. So what are these expenses that they're trying to save by closing it? Seems like they wouldn't have any expenses. Maybe the only thing they're paying is like real estate taxes. I don't know. But I would like for someone to explain why are they, how is closing it saving it? So if it's not gonna, if it doesn't cost them anything while it's closed for the pandemic, then once the pandemic is over and they reopen it, they would then have expenses, but at that same time, membership dues will start coming in. So that's all I know about it. I don't know on whom it depends. I don't know if it can still be reversed, but I do know that our big hope, the dream of the pandemic was for the pandemic to be over
Mhm,
and for us to go back to High Ridge YMCA.
mhm,
And if it closes, that takes our hope away.
mhm. Do you know if anyone has been able to speak with the alderman?
Yes, Maria Haddon. Oh, wait, that's not in Maria Haddon's. I live in Maria Haddon. I don't know. I forget who the alderman is for that part. She is involved in it, but all she did is she just expressed her regret. And
Mhm,
she said that she hopes they find some other good use for the building that would be good for the community. So I would say that she gave up. I don't think she's struggling uh, to keep High Ridge YMCA open. But
mhm,
maybe there is no way. I don't know.
mhm. Well, whoever, if that alderman needs to hear your story. That is a very important story. Okay, and well, my last question was, what has been the most important contribution of the High Risk YMCA to the community? But you have spoken extensively about as many contributions to the community. Is there anything else that the High Risk YMCA contribute to the community other than what you have told us, Michael?
Not really. All it does, it keeps people healthy and it makes people friends and people of all races, uh, white, black, Asian, India. You see every nationality. It's a big um, a big melting pot. Uh, it is a microcosm of the United States of America, a very American institution. So if there is a way to keep it open, would be great, because this small gem, this beating heart of Rogers Park, will not be replaced by the remaining standing big YMCA's.
Mhm.
Thank you.
Thank you, Michael. This has been Thank you so much, Michael Wasserman. This has been WZRD Chicago 88.3 FM, a pre recorded interview with Michael Wasserman, who fervently hopes that the High Ridge YMCA will not be closed. It had been temporarily closed for 6 months, and now it's destined to be closed permanently. But he and others will work to see if it could remain open. And hopefully, this story will be continued. And we will have you back with some good news. Michael Wasserman, thank you so much.
Thank you, Trudy.